So if you haven't got hold of the Mavic 4 Pro yet, but you like the look of that spinny lens, I'm going to show you how to do that with any DJI drone or any drone that shoots 4K, 25, 30, 50 or 60p, preferably the faster frame rate, which you'll see why a bit later. But I'm going to show you how you can get that same effect with any drone using software rather than the actual spinning lens. Now, before we get into this, I just quickly want to say that using the full 360 can be used on maybe 1% of your shots throughout the year. But really, we're looking at doing I'm going to show you how to do the full 360, but then what I'd recommend is you just use that kind of tilt as you go around buildings and trees, just to get that kind of FPV look. So this is a good way of showing you how to do that using just software. Now I'm going to show you how to do this. You can see this clip at the moment. This is one I took in 5K 50 frames a second with the Mavic 3 Pro, and it's just a simple 15-second shot coming away from the lighthouse there, and we're going to basically spin that. Now, one thing I'm going to say about this as a kind of caveat is that when you're that close, when you're using the spinning lens, you would keep that kind of frame aspect. Okay, but when we do this, we're going to be cropping in. So rather than starting at this point when you're trying to do this with software, I would recommend starting from a bit further out like that, so that when we crop in, we still get that same close kind of look. Okay, but we'll do more of that when we get to it. So this is the shot we're going to use. We're going to basically upsize this from 5.1K 50 to just over 10K 50. Then we're going to do the spinny effect. Then we're going to put it back down and output it at 4K. Okay, so let's drag this into Premiere Pro. So we're going to take that clip, and I'm going to show you why this doesn't work when we're just using a standard clip. So basically, to do this, we've dragged it into Premiere Pro. So what we would then do is click on the actual frame itself, go to rotation, and then we're going to set some keyframes. So the first keyframe has to be 0 degrees angle. The middle keyframe has to be 180, so it flips upside down, and the final keyframe has to be 360, so it basically flips the whole way through. So again, you can see up here, the first one, we've got a keyframe of just the standard as it is now. Then we're going to move the cursor about halfway along, and then we're going to add another keyframe, and this time we're going to make that rotation 180. You can see now it's flipped, and then we're going to go to the end of the frames, end of the clip. So we go one frame past and then back, and then we're going to add another keyframe at the end, and then we're going to make this one 360. So as we play this now, you'll see it flips around, but this is the problem when we're using a standard 4K clip, because you can see it's spinning fine, but we've got those the black background borders, which we don't really want. Now, the way to get over that is quite simply to scale. So if we move the cursor and scrub through to about there, where all four corners are showing this kind of black border, then what we tend to do is just scale in until they've all gone, which is about there. And if I scrub through now, we've still got some there a little bit, so we need to scale in a bit more to about there. And then when we scrub through, you can see all of it's gone. So let's play that through. This is exactly it. This is perfect. So this is kind of what we want. But the problem is we've actually cropped in about 2.5 times. So that clip is only about 2K at the moment, but it's working. That's how simple it is to get that effect using just software. Okay, so that's working. But you can see here, like I said, once we've cropped in and got rid of those backgrounds, the black kind of borders, you can see now how close we are to the actual lighthouse. So we don't want that. That's why I said start further back, so that when you crop in, you've still got all of that lighthouse in. So you have to think it through a little bit before you actually do anything. But that works perfectly now. But like I said, it's only going to be like 2K, so it's not going to look good. Once you've blown it up, it kind of looks a bit degraded, bit blurred, and it's not really 4K. If you were outputting this at 1080, it's going to work really well. So if you're outputting it at 1080, finish now and we're job done. Okay, but if your client wants 4K, I'll show you how we do that now. So we're now in Topaz Video AI 7. I've been using this since Video AI 5, and it's brilliant software. Not only does it do this by upsizing videos from 1080 to 4K to 8K, it also does a lot of other things with video. So I'm going to leave a link. Just go and have a look at it because it's brilliant software. I've used it a lot for my old family videos, old cine film, old mini DV tapes, and I've up-res them to like 1080 from those really old clips. And it also adds all the detail back in using AI. It's brilliant. So just go and check that out. But for now, all we want to do is take this original clip, drag and drop it into the software. and then we just simply start editing from scratch. So we've done that. The clip is now in the software. You can see it there. And this is the 5.1K clip. You can see there the output resolution is currently at 5120 by 2700. Now we want to double that, but before we do that, one recommendation you have to actually do is go to codec settings and make the output as ProRes. And I'm also going to make this at 422HQ, the highest quality you can get. Okay, so when we output it, it's going to be super, super high quality. It's going to be a really big file, but then we're going to edit it down, and render it out at 4K. So it'll be a smaller file. But really, you want the best quality possible at this stage. Go back to adjustments. Then we go to the output resolution. We're just going to double it. We're going to 2 times upscale it. So again, when we crop it back down, we're going to get back to 4K or about 5K. Now, there's a lot of options here to do with the AI model. Now, I'm not going to go through all of these, but this is why this software is so good, because depending on the footage you're putting in, it could be an old, like I say, old cine film, black and white, and then you can use these where it says good for upsizing old footage, very poor quality. Then it'll work harder on it. But we really want to just be upscaling it twice, and for that, I think the rear. If you look down there, it says rear general enhancement model that allows fine-tuning several parameters for optimal quality. Great for fine details. So that's what I'm going to be using. So if I go down here, just click on rear. I'm not going to do anything else. You don't need to do anything else. The software will do it all for you. But you do have, if you get really into this software, you can start doing all your manual adjustments to really fine-tune and tweak it. So really all I'm going to do now, I can't see because the camera's in the way. All then we do is just go export as. We're going to put it back into the same folder, and it will give it the same file name, but at the end it will say, it'll add the word RHEA on the end, RHEA, so you know that that file is the one you've upsized. And if we go into the export queue, you can see here that it's just loading that model. So it has to download the model, load it all onto the actual clip, then it will start working on it. Now, with Video AI 7, one of the updates they did is you can see it's initiating the viewer. Didn't have this before in the old version, but what that means is while it's actually taking its time creating this video and doubling the size, it actually takes about an hour and a half for a clip of 15 seconds. So you will have to wait a while, but we didn't have this preview before. So once it's done about sort of 10, 15, 20%, you can start playing that clip to make sure the quality is what you want. If it's not, then you can start again. But having that preview is fantastic because you don't have to wait an hour and a half just to see the clip and it's no good. Okay, you can actually start previewing it well early. If it's no good, start again using one of the other kind of protocols. Okay, so I'm going to leave this now. It's going to take about an hour and a half to produce this clip. I'll come back and show you it. Then we're going to load it back into Premiere Pro and we're going to do exactly what we did before, but this time it's going to be 10K. We're going to zoom in, we'll have about 5K, then we're going to output at 4K and get a really high quality clip. Okay, so that clip is now done and we've gone from a 270 megabyte clip to a 21 gigabyte clip. So we've doubled the size, but we've also put it out as ProRes, so the quality is going to be super high. But this is what I mean. It's going to be a really huge file size, but once we've actually done all the work and output it at 4K, be a much smaller file size, and we can delete that one, okay? Okay, so that's now done. Let's have a look at that clip. And you can see there, we've now got a 4K clip with the spinny motion kind of thing. And it was pretty simple to do. You just need that additional software. So you can do this in Premiere Pro. I sometimes use Vegas Pro, but you can do it in any software you've got. As long as you can work out the keyframing and how to spin it, it ends up being really good. And the quality on that looks pretty good to me. So let's go back to the beginning. You can see there, it's pretty sharp. Everything looks really good, nice and smooth. So yeah, that's basically done now. So I'm going to say then, only use this quite sparingly. Obviously, if you had the drone itself, it's much easier with the spinny camera. But to get this effect, you can do it with any drone. And like I said, if you're outputting it at 1080, you haven't got to bother with the software. You haven't got to worry about the Topaz software. You can just do it and output it at 1080 using that same keyframing, okay? But I would recommend going and look at Topaz. I'll leave a link up here somewhere. But go and have a look at the video software because you can increase the quality of all of your clips from yesteryear really well. I've done it loads myself and it's fantastic. And there's some other things you can do with the software, so go and check it out. But also they've got two other bits of software. One that I use, which is called Topaz Gigapixel. And gigapixel is basically doing the same as video, but it's upsizing your photographs. So if you've got old photos you want to upsize and maybe print out, then it's good for that. If you've taken some fantastic panoramas with your drone or any ground cameras and you want to increase the size even more, maybe to go on a billboard or whatever, or a wall print, things like that, then you can really upsize those, and that software is amazing. Again, it uses AI to fill in all the gaps. While I'm on that, the reason I said to shoot 50K, 50 frames per second with video, if you're going to be doing this, it means you've got more frames for the actual software to increase the size. And also try not to make it too blurry. So perhaps don't even use a ND filter. So you've got more frames, you've got faster shutter speed, so you've got much sharper frames to actually work on. Okay, so just bear that in mind, but have a practice with it. Then they've got another bit of software called Topaz AI Photo, which specifically does photos. So working on quality of photos. So like I said, I'll leave a link up above, go and check it out, but I hope this has helped. If it has done, please give us a thumbs up, and if you haven't done already, please consider subscribing, and also please check out the link to the membership section where I'm going to be uploading lots and lots of extra videos for members, including a photography course, a wedding video course, lots of stuff like that, so please check that out as well. Okay, thanks for watching, happy spinning, and we'll see you on the next video.